Bryan Fischer is not a fan of working women, especially the heinous idea, Lewis, that a woman might happen to earn more money than her husband. Let's get to some video of what Bryan Fischer had to say. And this is really funny because within hours of this video coming across my email of Bryan Fischer talking about this, I found a bunch more examples of the same thing happening on Fox News. But first, let's listen to what Bryan Fischer had to say about women and working and money and all of that stuff.
I am going to say something here, and I don't care that it's politically incorrect.
Right.
And I know if Right Wing Watch picks up on this or anybody else, they're just going to lacerate me for this.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay.
From a biblical standpoint,
right,
it's very clear that men are designed to be the breadwinners for their families. That's the way God set it up. That's the way he designed it. Husbands are to use their stamina and their strength and their brain power. Not that they're smarter than women. I'm not saying that.
No.
But God's given them a brain, and the purpose for using their mental ability is to provide for their families, to use their physical strength to work hard, to work long hours, to use their physical strength to protect their wives and protect their children and be providers for them. That is the biblical pattern. And the biblical pattern is for a wife and a mother to focus her energies, devote her energies on making a home for her children and for her husband.
Right.
And there's another problem is the number of married mothers who out-earn their husbands.
Huge problem.
That number has quadrupled. And again, I'm going to be politically incorrect here. I don't think that's a good idea.
No.
I don't think it's a healthy dynamic to have a wife out-earn her husband, because so much of his sense of worth as a male is tied up in what he does vocationally and providing for his family. That's his calling. It's not his wife's job to provide for his family. He knows that it's his job. And if he has a wife that out-earns him, I think that's going to put some stress on his psyche. It's going to put some stress on that marriage.
Man, it's fascinating video. Now, not everything that Bryan Fischer says is untrue. There are a lot of men who do react negatively. Their psyche is negatively affected by the woman in the relationship earning more. But that says more about society than it does about how things should be. It means we have a problem in society if that's something that men are not able to accept, that sometimes men might earn more money or sometimes women might earn more money. That's a problem. Now, everything he says is actually right in a sense, right? Women are second class in the Bible. In some regards, in the Bible, women are on the same level as property or cattle, right? So the real question then is, why would any woman follow such a God? Why would any woman follow teachings that put them in this position where they are to be ruled by men? That's the real question that I gather from Bryan Fischer's diatribe.
It's hard to put yourself in those shoes. I mean, if you grow up in a household where even your mother is preaching this to you as a little girl, what do you do? I mean, I feel like it's almost an indoctrination.
This idea is, by the way, not unique to Bryan Fischer. A number of Fox News individuals have basically said the same thing. Check this out. Lou Dobbs lamented news that a record number of women are now the economic breadwinners of their families. The Fox contributors worried about the dissolution of American society and nature. Lou Dobbs talked about this Pew study, which shows that a lot more women are now the primary earners or the bigger earner in the relationship. And he said that the Pew study shows that women have become the breadwinners in this country, and a lot of other concerning and troubling statistics.
Now, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let's just stipulate that it was determined scientifically that not as a result of society or culture, but because of an inherent biology.
Yeah.
Okay, not divine providence, but biology.
Yep.
That men are less healthy, less satisfied, and worse off if they're not the breadwinners. Now, I'm not saying that this is the case. I don't think this is the case.
Yeah.
There's no evidence that this is the case. But the question is, and this is something that people who consider themselves to be liberal sometimes fail to consider, what if there is a biological difference here that is there. What do you say if that is the scientific consensus?
If that is the case, if that is the scientific consensus, then I accept it and I explore it and I figure out, well, let's figure out a system for everybody to feel most satisfied. But the reality is, Natan used the word, Lewis, maybe even without noticing it, that proves that it is not biological. Because when you talk about satisfaction based on the entire concept of the work economy, wages, the family structure, all these things.
Yeah, I'm making
hold
a
on
much
a second,
broader
Natan,
point. Yeah.
are social constructs. Therefore, to say that as a result of a social construct created by people in a culture, men are less satisfied biologically if they make more money, it's a direct, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, you're arguing the science. What I'm saying is a hypothetical where
if the science I'm agreeing with you.
The science actually has concluded something in the same way that science has concluded a number of other things which we don't question when you just trust what the evidence tells you.
Right.
And if those things don't jive with your worldview, the liberal, equality, egalitarian worldview, what do you do at that point is my question. My question isn't whether this is true. I don't think it is.
I already said at that point I accept it, right, Lewis? I mean, if that is the scientific consensus, if we can prove that, then I accept it and I explore it. But the idea that that is the case, I believe to be false, and particularly the idea that it's the case because that's what God said is even more egregiously false.
When we're talking about the Bible, whoever brings that up is just immediately, what's the word?
I don't know. You don't take it seriously.
Delegitimized.
All right, Lewis, harsh words there. All right, let's take a break. DavidPakman.com/membership, but also DavidPakman.com/summer13 for the next few days. Get a 1-year membership. We'll send you a free t-shirt. Very, very easy. We'll take a break. Be back with more after this.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.